Hello, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I'm on a different camera today. I don't know, the other one doesn't work. Before we start, I just got a delivery. Look at this. It's called Planner Nerd. It was from My Favorite Things Collective. Look at that, isn't that cute? Because I'm a planner nerd now. Anyway, totally off the topic. Helen Dalton has tweeted, whatever. Yeah, the picture. An article. It looks like it's from the Tally by John Barilaro. And it's titled Vaccine is How Rural New South Wales Can Repay the Favour. Apparently, rural New South Wales owes the city something. Seriously. Really? No. Surely he wouldn't say that. Let's have a look. That's what the title says. Vaccine is how rural Australia can repay the favour. If anyone had told me 2 years ago that this state would suffer through its worst drought in history, the worst bushfires in history, floods, and a 1 in 100-year pandemic, I'm not sure I would have believed them, but here we are. During the past 2 years, we have seen the best of people and their responses to these challenges. As communities battled drought, bushfires, and the global pandemic, our city cousins did everything in their power to make sure our farmers kept their heads above water. What I remember most was the way the city kids rolled up their sleeves and did whatever they could to help kids like them in the bush. Campaigns to raise money, school communities in Sydney fundraising to give country kids a holiday, a campaign that saw city kids write Christmas cards to those in the bush to try and lift spirits. 12-year-old Jack Byrne from Northern Beaches established a charity Fiver for a Farmer and has raised more than $1.8 million for regional communities. The bushfires that devastated our communities across the length and breadth of this state still haunt me. City people donated millions of dollars and booked their holidays to ensure businesses survived. The way they stepped up and helped in any way they could. New South Wales made it through the last 18 months of the COVID-19 pandemic relatively unscathed. But with the onset of the Delta variant combined with a largely unvaccinated population, the pandemic has taken grip. Tough have been made over the last 5 weeks, but none tougher than being faced with nearly 20,000 Year 12 students being denied the right to sit their HSC. The diversion of some of those Pfizer vaccines in March for the regions is short-term and will continue to see more and more vaccines become available over the next few weeks, and regional New South Wales will be the first to see their top-ups. But let's be clear, Sydney is burning now. It would be like in the middle of black summer bushfires and the south coast was burning and the Hornsby RFS decided not to help. There would have been outraged. It would be like denying those Year 12 students during those bushfires the chance to get the HSC. How is this any different? There's a big difference, actually. If I'm honest, I've seen some of the worst people of the last few days, the race to the bottom of who is more worthy of a vaccine. We have successfully kept COVID as far away from the bush as possible, but the biggest threat is the growing spread of the virus in southwest and western Sydney, and we need to do everything to keep it at bay and well away from regional New South Wales. After national disasters, everyone was quick to say that regional New South Wales is tough and resilient. When there is a drought, we pray for rain. When there are fires, we send out the fireys, and when we're attacked by a virus, we send the vaccine. On the other side of this pandemic is how does regional New South Wales want to be remembered when they had the opportunity to return the favour to their city cousins? This is John Barilaro, is the Deputy Premier of New South Wales. So what Helen Dalton says this. Oh, I lost it. Yeah. She says, bruz argues in favour of sending regional vaccines to Sydney because during the drought, our city cousins did everything to make sure our farmers kept their head above water. Seriously, your Sydney government wouldn't even truck bottled water to small towns that ran dry. What do you reckon? A bushfire and a pandemic are two different things. You can't compare the two. It's like comparing an apple to an orange. You can't compare an apple to an orange. Here's another question for you, bruz. what happens if what happens if it spreads to regional New South Wales? They don't have the resources to cope with the health crisis. They are just as important as being vaccinated. Wouldn't you rather vaccinate your regional areas so that if the pandemic spread to them, they wouldn't end up in hospitals where they're under-resourced or they don't have the resources? Wouldn't that make a lot more sense? Anyway, I'm interested to know what you think. Tell me in the comments below, and I hope you have a great day.